All right, as Canada gets ready for their dry run of how to roll out the vaccine, and we could be just weeks away from receiving a vaccine, there's a lot of questions, a lot of misinformation out there about the COVID-19 vaccines coming to market. So for This Week in Science, we've dedicated that to busting some of those myths around not only the COVID-19 vaccine, but also vaccines in general. And we have brought in Dan Riskin to help us do that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, let's start with myth number one. Vaccines contain harmful ingredients. Is there any truth to this?
Well, I mean, the ingredients that are in vaccines, if you made a whole cup of just those ingredients and drank that and got nothing but that, yes, you'd get sick. But that's not the amount they're giving you. They're giving you very, very small amounts of different things that are in there for specific reasons to help the vaccine work. And they're part of what is tested. So the quick answer is the things that are in vaccines are specifically tested to make sure that they are not going to be bad for you. So you don't have to worry about the other things that you're getting with the vaccine.
Okay, because we promised to provide answers, I'm going to go through at least three of the most commonly listed ones that people are concerned about: mercury, formaldehyde,
Yep.
and aluminum.
Yeah, those turn up in
They're
different
all in
amounts in
vaccines.
different vaccines. Yeah, well, they are in some vaccines. So, for example, if you take the mercury, a lot of people have, got these theories that mercury in the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine is something that might cause autism, for example. It's not even in the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine that occurs in Canada. So it's not even linked there. But those are things that on the surface sound like they're really bad for you. But when you look at the amount that goes in and how it works chemically, it's just fine. And this is something that conspiracy theorists use quite a bit, is they'll pick something out of a list of chemicals and they'll say, well, there it is. This is really bad for you. And they can show using that basically anything has something bad in it in very, very small amounts. And so by picking something that is very, very minor, that has no health effects whatsoever in the vaccine, they can make it sound like it's much scarier than it actually is.
All right, I want to get to number two because this I hear a lot in whispered conversations. People are like, look, I'm not anti-vaccine, but I don't know if I want to be the first in line.
This is absolutely something I'm hearing all the time is people are saying, I'm excited about these vaccines. I'm a little bit worried about how fast these things were approved. That's what they're saying. And I'm not sure that I want to be the first in line. And my response to people, like other parents that I talk to when I'm dropping my kids off at school, for example, where we're talking about these things, and I'm sure other people are having conversations in similar settings, my response is you can't be first in line because they've already tested it on 30,000 people, right? Or 40,000 in the case of some of these vaccines. And so that's what a phase 3 trial is all the other people in line in front of you. And they're tested, they're checked very carefully to make sure that the health effects, first of all, that the vaccine works, and second of all, that they don't get side effects. And if there's anything that comes up that's untoward, then they stop the whole thing and they do an assessment. So you're not the first in line, no matter how early you try to get it. And in all likelihood, for most Canadians, there will be millions of people that got it ahead of you. So this idea that you need to watch and see if everything goes okay for other people, that's already happened. That's what phase 3 trials were. It's time to go get the shot.
Yeah, Pfizer's had 43,000 people participate. So there's been 43,000 people in front of you, as you point out. Myth number three, and this one we also hear a lot of, and that's like, it's my body. I don't want to put a vaccine in it, and it only affects me anyway. So what does it hurt you that I don't get vaccinated?
Right. Well, it is your body and it is your decision, and nobody's going to force you to do it. But I think the idea that this is a personal decision that only affects you, that's a myth. That's a full-on myth. A lot of people don't have the opportunity to get vaccinated. In Canada, we're not talking about vaccinating kids anytime soon because these vaccines haven't been tested on kids. So my kids are out there in the world, and they are vulnerable to getting this disease. And it's true that the effects of COVID-19 for kids are better than they are for grown-ups, but we don't know the long-term effects of COVID-19, and I'm scared for them. And I genuinely want the number of COVID-19 cases in Canada to be going down so that my kids are less at risk, or your kids, or anyone's kids, or people that are in places where they're not able to get the vaccine, or people who have health conditions that we might find out don't work with the vaccine, or people for whom the vaccine doesn't take. There are two purposes of the vaccination. One is to prevent you from getting it, but the other one is to make it so the virus doesn't have anywhere to spread in Canada. And so the more people who get the vaccine, the safer all of us are. So you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your community as well.
Dan Riskin, always good to have you here and great to shed some fact light on some of the misinformation and some of the questions that are out there. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.